to mute your microphones if you don't want to be on the recording. Change your name if you want. If you want to, also if you want to um, change your video options there as well. Okay. So thank you everybody for joining the rollout for the category 2. I'm gonna try to um, figure out this PowerPoint here. And Sarah's on the other line there. She's going to be showing and demoing some of the chairs that we're talking about today. And here we go. So here's the agenda. So obviously, woohoo, Canada. I was very happy about that game. We watched that last night. So yay. We're also going to introduce a couple new faces to, well, maybe just Cannerlin. I think Cannerlin representing Nation Cares, and Jackie's also on the call here. So we'll do some introductions, and then we'll go into the categories, models of the category 2 chair that we're talking about, and then just some of the specs. And I think that's basically it. So we're going to try to keep it in the hour that I said we would. All right, so I'm going to turn it over to Carolyn if you want to introduce yourself to the group here. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Terry. Well, hello to everybody. Yeah, I would love to see some more smiling faces with the cameras. I get to converse with a lot of you over email and phone, so it's nice to maybe put some faces to those names. So Motion is very excited to be partnering with Manitoba Possible and being the provider for the contract, the Category 2 chairs this year, or this term. And, you know, we've had a great relationship with Drive Medical, and they've been really supportive throughout the process in providing demo equipment that we can have this today to provide some insight and show you guys some of the equipment. We're doing the best that we can to stay in contact with Manitoba Possible and Drive to ensure that we're keeping those lead times down to a minimum so we can ensure that you're getting your equipment as quickly as you need it, as well as ensuring that we're housing some things on hand for equipment that may be needed that takes a little bit of a longer lead time so that we can ensure that we're getting our clients what they need in a timely manner. So I just wanted to say a quick hello and introduce myself for the ones that have not had an opportunity to meet me or see me or hear a voice, and just say that we're here to help, and we're very excited to be a local vendor in Winnipeg that Cherry and Jackie and the Manitoba Possible team can reach out to, and that we're here to support them in any way that we can, and to the OTs as well in the community. I've provided Cherry with some documentation, some brochures, warranty information that she'll pass along to you as well. If there's any information in regards to issues with the equipment, you guys will go to Sherry as your contact person, and we'll work with her in the background to ensure that we're making sure we get everything of those corrected as quickly as possible. As well, I wanted to also invite everybody to our expo that we're doing this year, June 4th. We're hosting our second expo, and hopefully that invitation has made its way to you. If not, I will pass it along to Cherry, and if she's so kind to pass it along to the attendees today, we would love to see everybody in attendance this year. The first one was a great turnout, and we'd love to see that surpass it. So thank you so much for having me, and I'm here for any questions at the end if you need, but thank you so much.
Thanks, Carolyn. And yeah, like what she said, Carolyn said, is there's any issues with the chairs, your first contact is ourselves here at Manitoba Wheelchair Program, and then any warranty type of issues we will go and bug Carolyn about. So those are kind of really important things. So I'm going to turn it over to Jackie. I think most people have met Jackie, but thought maybe she wanted to say hello.
Hi, everybody. Yeah, I've been with Manitoba Possible now going into my third year. We are growing the program. As many of you are aware, we've got some extra funding for the operational budget, which meant that we could expand our services beyond the perimeter of the city of Winnipeg. So we're very excited to be training and deploying field technicians to rural. The only rural hub that we don't have a field technician trained and hired for yet is Thompson. And if any of you have any friends in Thompson that are looking for some work, it's a 0.6 EFT. And that has been a challenge for us, so it's not a desirable full-time role. But if you know anybody who is mechanically inclined, please send them our way and point them to the Manitoba Possible website where we have our posting up there.
Thanks, Jackie. Yeah, and we just hired for their Interlake OT support. And yay. And
Yeah.
again, we're also looking for a Northern OT support up there. I think it's a point 4 as well. So, okay. Thanks, everybody. And I think everybody else is, okay, just joining in a little bit. Okay. We're going to go right into some of the new changes. I think I've rolled this out already, but it's going to be official April 1st. We're really frantically working in the background to update all the application forms. We have a few people volunteering to be on our forms committee. Thank you, so that we can get these forms rolled out. So anyways, the general categories of chairs are going to remain the same. So we have your category 1 that's meant for long distance only, maybe a part-time user, 2 to 4 hours maybe a day. Doesn't really need a lot of options or accessories. So that's just to get the person from point A to point B. Then the category 2, which is what we're talking about today, we have the new contracts with the vendor is the and Drive. It's Drive Cruiser X4 that we're looking at, and a couple of different model options. So that's what we're going to focus on for this presentation. There's a couple of different changes. So your category 4 type 1 is actually your move chairs that you're used to calling 2C. So that's moving to a full-time category, but it's a type 1, so it's more of a basic options. And you have clients that are needing more customized options or more active, then you're looking at the category 4 type 2, which are going to be your A6 and your rigid Apex chairs. Category 5 is still your power chair. We did split them up into type 1, which is your standard sit and drive chair. And then type 2 is the one with the power actuators, so your power positioning. So we just split that up a bit differently. We're also introducing, come on. In each category, we're going to have different models. So in the model A, that's your adult standard chair. So the weight capacity is usually between 250 to 300 pounds. Your model B in each category is going to be your heavy duty chair, so under 400 pounds. And model C is our children's or pediatric model, usually the smaller dimensions under 14 inches wide. Max weight of some of them are 225, but they're all a little bit different for each category. And then the model D is your bariatric. So we have some categories with this model option. So we have category 2, we have a bariatric model. In category 4 type 1, which is your Quickie M6. So those are the 2 bariatric models that we would have on the program. So this will be rolled out more and you'll be more familiar with it. And again, it's going to be official in April 1st. Okay, so we're going to look at category 2. So that's your part-time user, about 4 hours a day, 4 to 6 sometimes. Our model A that we're offering are the Drive Cruiser X. So this is the link. It's a clickable link here on your PowerPoint when you get them. And also we're going to be sending out some resources that Cannerlyn had mentioned. So it's going to talk about specs. And then Sarah is going to be your person there. She's going to be walking through the chair as I'm talking and pointing out some stuff on the chair that's kind of a different feature than probably what we're used to. So Sarah, just pipe in whenever you can. I'm going to go through the specs in a second, but so right now, because this is a new contract, we're just starting to order them in. You're still going to be seeing your recycled Breezy 4000 options. Now, we've been told by Sunrise that they no longer supply parts for the Breezy 4000s. So as soon as those 4000 chairs are kind of getting worn down and ripped up and that, then we're going to be swapping them for either a newer Breezy 4000 that we have in the recycling pool, or you're going to start seeing these Drive Cruiser X's. So as I'm talking, I think Sarah's going to be showing you some features. So this is a wheelchair that's weighing about 34 pounds. So you can see it is a little bit heavy, easy to propel and transport. So this is all within the resources that you're going to be getting. But the main important thing we wanted to point out, there's a couple different options. So Sarah, she's opening and closing it. There's little handles there that are kind of really easy to pull up for the caregivers, much easier than some of our other chairs. Our techs have looked this chair over. They love and hate some features, so I'm sure all the prescribers here are gonna see the same thing. Is it heavy, Sarah? I can't hear you, so you're muted if you're talking.
It's heavy.
It's
Yes,
heavy.
it's heavy.
But the really cool thing about this chair is to make it from a 16-inch depth to an 18-inch depth. There's no extra parts we need. So Sarah's flipping out the upholstery. So there's a 2-inch padded upholstery that gets Velcroed underneath when you don't need it. So that's your 16-inch depth. And when you're needing an 18-inch depth, you can actually pull out a little portion of the seat frame. There's an Allen key or that you might need to pull it out, and that frame extends 2 inches. So for us as a recycling program, this is awesome. Yeah, I'm gonna see if we can see Sarah's full screen here. You may have to change your view. Maybe I have to change my view.
Someone said you should click on a video.
Okay, I changed her to my full screen, so I don't know if you want to change your view on your top of your Teams header there.
As well, if you see her little square and you do a right click on it, you can say pin and it'll open up and it'll make her the center of your screen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Paige said she pinned her. Okay, perfect. So on one side there's an extended seat frame. On the other side, it's not. So that's how we extend it to an 18-inch depth.
It's just a bolt under here.
Yeah, so no longer are we swapping back and forth and getting extra different railings for that.
Oops.
Perfect. Yeah, I see that. Nice. So that was one cool feature of this chair. The second cool feature is that they're advertising ability to adjust the leg rests without any tools. So it comes with a standard swing away leg rest. There's a little plastic clip that she just undid, and then there's the 2 push buttons on the side. So you can extend or shorten it however you want. Perfect. If you move towards the back of the chair, there's the removable wheels or the tires as well. So it's got the quick release.
Take the brake off first.
Yeah, it's got the quick release axles. And the really cool feature about this is now there's 3 slots for seat height. So you can go from, I think, 17 and a quarter all the way to 21. Sorry, I'm trying to find that out. And then you can also incorporate a little bit of a seat slope or a seat dump, if you will, if you lower the rear wheels. So you may have to assess your clients for that, because sometimes having that little seat slope, some clients may not be able to go against gravity to do their transfer. So just assess that your clients can do that. But we all know that having a little bit of a seat slope keeps clients in their chairs, a little bit of gravity assist to keep them a little bit straighter in their chairs. So there's only the 24-inch wheel option. So there is the wheel lock extension that that you were showing. So with the wheel locks, those are a justification option. Not every chair is going to be able to come with them. So yeah, it's removable. So it's easy to slip out, but what our techs do say is that they will crimp the end a little bit so it's not as easily able to come off. So right now, yeah, you're going to crimp that end so that it kind of stays more permanent. So, okay, so they come with 8-inch casters. When you do a little bit of a seat slope, so your front seat is higher than your back seat. Oh, sorry.
I'm just showing it. This one's crimped. It doesn't pull up.
Oh, you're sorry. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So the techs will do that if we need to. Okay, so that shows 8-inch casters there. And there is an ability to square those casters. So when you are asking for a little bit of a seat slope, if you don't square those casters, that means like that those two, the hardware has to be 90 degrees to the floor. It might affect your wheeling. So we always like to check that those are 90 degrees. So I don't think those ones are quite 90 degrees. So there are um, some adjustments to make sure that they are 90 degrees to the floor. Yeah. So I think you just have to spin those little nuts in the middle. Yeah. And then you can gain your 90 degrees. So it's a little bit more adjustment than we're used to seeing, but you have a little bit more seat to floor height options. Okay. Other features of this chair. Triple rear wheel axles. Okay. Comes with push to lock wheel locks. So, right, elevating leg rest. It does come with an option to upgrade to an elevating leg rest. So again, you need to be aware of what makes it eligible for your elevating leg rests. And they are also toolless, so you can just pop the button and there's a little clip. I think everybody's familiar with that type of style, right? So I think that's the only options.
And you can't move this bolt.
You can't move it up and down?
Yeah, this can't, like this stays where it is.
Oh, okay. Can you flip
That's
the hardware again? Can you flip?
right.
Yeah, flip it up. Can you see the back? There doesn't seem to be too much adjustment on the pad either. Okay. All right. So on the contract, just to show everybody that we have a contract for this specific setup or configuration. So anything we add extra is an extra cost to us. So the chair gets configured standard with adjustable height, full armrest, swing away footrest. The anti-tippers are extra, so we do need justification for having that. So it's a little messy on this page, but this is the accessories that are available as options. With justification, you can get anti-tippers with wheels. So what Sarah was showing you, they're removable. But look at the cost that we add to everyone. So please be really judicious in when you're ordering extra parts, because that does cost the program money on top of what's already been a standard option for our chairs. So anti-tippers are an extra cost. A seat belt is an extra cost, so we only provide the auto class style, so it's got the push button in the middle. So you do have to provide justification for why you need that seat belt, because it's an extra cost. The wheel lock extensions, like I said, are extra costs. For the pair of them is I think $50, because they're sold $23 each, so it's a little crazy. And then reminder that elevating leg rests are not for your temporary conditions or for orthopedic type of injuries. These are needing to be justified as well. So is there anything else, Sarah, we missed on the Drive Cruiser X?
Just in regards to where the serial number is.
Yes, okay. So this is really important when you're trying to track a chair down and figuring out whose chair this is. We need to know the serial number. So if you can fold the chair up, and it's right on the cross brace, so it's easiest when you do. And what does that say? I can't really see.
It's SN. Okay,
Oh,
so that's what we're looking for, is the serial number, not the
any other
the reference number.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it starts with 4S. 24. But that's where it should be, on the side.
Yeah, and that's what our technicians will record, and that's what gets recorded on our database, and we track the chairs those that way. All right, sounds good. I'm just looking at the time. We're good for time. Let's move on to Model B. So still Category 2, but the Model B is now the Sentra HD. It comes in a 20 as well, but just a little note, the Drive Cruiser X has a 20-inch wide, but it only goes to about 300 pounds. When we go up to a Model B, the Sentra HD will have a 20-inch option, 20-inch wide, and they go up to 400 pounds. So just a little bit of a note, I think I'm going to fix this on my PowerPoint, that you can get a Model B Sentra HD 20-inch wide at 400 pound capacity, and 22 and 24. Okay, so Sarah's showing you the Sentra heavy duty option. We still have the Breezy 2000. So again, these are new contracted chairs. So we might be having to substitute some of the requests with what we have on in our. Sorry?
This is the 28 that I'm showing.
Okay. No, this is that's going to be the Model B or the Model D, the bariatric.
Yes.
Okay, so just pretend this is a Model B Sentra HD. Capacity of these heavy duty options is 450. Very heavy chair to transport in and out of your vehicle. So hopefully clients have caregivers or somebody that can help with the transportation. Standard dual axles. And then it has the 8-inch front casters at maintenance free sealed precision bearings. I'm just reading now. And comes with swing away footrest. Oh, this one will need some tools, right, Sarah, to adjust?
Yes.
You need, yeah. Okay, so you'll
Need a wrench
for that. The elevating leg rest is an option, but again, that's a justification. And the brakes or the wheel locks are push to lock. So that's your standard option here. I'm showing you the spec sheets again. So we are on contract able to provide just the yellow highlighted specs. So that's either 20 or 22 or 24 by 18. So remember, they're only 18-inch deep. It comes with fixed height, full length armrest, and the swing away footrest. So it's a very basic chair.
And I'm just going to point out one thing about the brake here. There's not a lot of real estate between the frame and the brake. So it's going to be really hard, like for people that normally like cup it, they won't really be able to do that for pushing down.
Okay. They'll
have to come in on this side.
Can you give us a look at the rims there? Are they removable? They look like there is an option to remove them, but again, we do caution when you're removing your rims that it does warp your spoke tires. So those will not be something we can cover if the rims are removed. I know people do them just for accessibility, but really, we don't want to know. Like when the tires and the wheels come back and they're warped, they basically get misshapen. We can't use them anymore. So I'm gonna say that we don't want to do that, and I don't want to know it if you guys do that in the community. And Jackie's on the line, so she. Okay, there's a note here. Can we zoom out of the camera? Okay. Is that okay right now? I'm just gonna look at the chat. Okay, there you go. Again, with the accessories here, just because our contracted pricing is so tight, a lot of our extras are an upcharge, so we do need justification every time. So the seatbelt style is the auto clasp. That's an extra charge. The wheel lock extensions are extra charges. And the anti-tippers, it says anti-tippers without wheels, but I think you can get, those anti-tippers.
This is the,
yeah. Okay.
I'm not gonna pull, I can't pull that off. So.
Yeah, so those are able to be added on, but definitely needs to have some justification for those. Anything else I missed on that? Do you see where the serial number is on this one? It should be on this
spot on the side area.
Oh, there it is. Okay, So that's where the serial number is if you're interested in looking up that information.
And just to point out with the anti-tippers,
Mm-hmm.
they're really hard to tip over. Like it's very stable.
Yeah.
So because the wheels are set so far back,
You may not need them.
it would be in pretty rare circumstances. And the same thing with the drive. Like the way it's set up to be a very standard,
Like a
stable
stable
chair.
Okay. You might need sometimes for those clients that are rockers or really tending to sit heavily on your chair and it's, you're feeling it's unsafe. So that is something you could justify. All right. Moving on now. I don't have the Model C yet, the Drive Wallaby. Cannerlin is working behind the scenes to get us a demo option for the Drive Wallaby. So all I have is the information that I'm gonna read out to you. Previously on our contracts, we never had an option for a Category 2 pediatric chair. So this is something we're happy about. I don't know how often it's gonna be requested because they do come with standard transit tie down brackets. However, we have to order the WC19 compliant headrest, so it has to be ordered as a set. So when you do have WC19 compliant transit brackets, your weight capacity then is reduced to between 50 and 80 pounds, where normally I think it's 125. So that's a huge difference. Maybe it's needed for your clients that have to take a school bus or that kind of thing, but just note that it is an extra and a custom request. We don't order these in stock, so we will be ordering them as needed. So they do have height adjustable push handles, flip back padded desk arms, desk length arms, push to lock wheel locks, 22-inch rear wheels with 6-inch front casters, swing away footrest, and it also has a tool-free height adjustment. So on contract, there's only two options. So you get the 12-inch or the 14-inch. And then when we do have to add the headrest, it does cost a little bit of extra. Like I said, elevating leg rests are justification, and anti-tippers are also going to be justification because they are extra costs. Okay, so the Model D is the Sentra Bariatric, and that's the one that Sarah was showing instead of the heavy-duty option. We, again, did not have any other options before on the contract, so this is a little bit of something we've been introducing as an off-contract before, but now it's part of our official contract. People used to have to upgrade to the Category 4 Quickie M6 before, and they do cost a little bit more. So hopefully the program gets a little bit of a cost savings by ordering these Model D Sentra bariatric chairs. So again, it's some of the information you can read here. We've already showed you most of the options. Just to note though, the front riggings are an extra cost, so they don't come with the chair. We have to order them separately. So they're extra large, heavy duty aluminum foot plates. And you can also, for those clients that meet those criteria, you can also get the elevating leg rest for them. The weight capacity for the Sentra Bariatric, so 26, 28, or 30, is capacity of 700 pounds. Again, on the specs, these are what we're contracted to provide. They're the Sentra EC, is that detachable? I think they're removable is what they mean. And they're only desk length armrests. Here's a little bit more specs. That product weight itself, we were saying, was between 62 to 66 pounds. So really thinking about when somebody's transporting this client, they have to transfer out of the wheelchair. Somebody has to fold up the wheelchair into the vehicle. So really needing that assessment of whether this is something that's going to be appropriate for your client. Seat to floor height standard is 19.5 inches there. And the back height comes at 18 inches. So these ones can have a depth of 20-inch or 22, I want to say. So we'd have to look at the specs because I think we usually order the 26 by 20 or 28 by 20. So I don't know if they have a longer depth option. I'm sure they would have. But I'm going to make a note of that. Okay, so, wow, that was really quick. So is there any questions right now? We're going to open that up for any, oops, I'm going to stop. For any questions for any of the models that we're introducing, you can ask questions on the chat. Just to know that Motion Cares has donated a few different chairs for us to try with clients. We have a couple options that we can send out to the rural clinicians if they want to look at this a little bit more as a program, or if they want to trial it with clients. So we don't have every size yet in our assessment pool. And we're still waiting for the Drive Wallaby chairs to come in, but those are going to be donated by Motion Cares. So if your program or your department wants us to maybe do more of an in-service other than this, or you guys want to take the chair and try it out on your own, you can just reach out to the MWP prescribers email, and we will try to facilitate a trial for you guys. Okay. Trying to think if there was anything else, Sarah, that we wanted to discuss. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing.
I don't think so.
Okay, sounds good. Just checking the chat. Is there anything you want us to show on the video with Sarah at the office there with the chair? Oh, Brad has a question. Any tie-down options for the drive chairs? Or is this like the breezy? So again, the category 2 chairs are not something we would want occupied transit on, and it does say it on the manual. So if your client goes on transit and cannot transfer from their vehicle to the wheelchair, you need to think about upgrading your client to the category 4 type 1 chair, the Move. Those ones have WC19 brackets. So
You can just see too, like it's plastic component. Like it's just not, it's a basic chair.
Yeah. So we don't want liability on our end to take these clients on the vehicle, and it doesn't have the option to tie down, which is the Canada Highway Traffic Act requires us to have 4 points of tie downs on the chairs. Sometimes maybe Transit Plus would want to look at these chairs, but because we're already saying that that's something you can justify to have your clients be upgraded, so that's something we need to think about. So what if they don't meet eligibility for a move? So we've already had this discussion. So we go on a case by case. We want to know how often your client is being transferred and what type of appointments they're going, like how many times a week. If it's, fairly regular, there wouldn't be a reason why we wouldn't upgrade them for a move, as long as the client has to be remaining seated in their wheelchair for transportation. So. Okay, question again here. Why did we opt to go with desk length versus full length armrests for the bariatric chairs? That is what the bid was accepted at, and that was what the contracted pricing was. We didn't have a choice in that, so we can get the full length arms, but it does cost us a little bit more extra to go with that. We're still offering desk length and full length, but there is going to be justification if that's not the standard configuration for the chair that we were contracted to provide. So, for example, on the Drive Cruiser X, our contracted pricing is for full length armrests. So if you need a desk length armrest, you do need to just put a justification why you need a desk length armrest. If we have the part, great, that would be easy. But if we have to order parts, that could delay your request, depending on when we get parts from the manufacturer. Hopefully that answers your question. Will there be a spec sheet, or is it similar to the two-way? Nope, we're not doing spec sheet. You're gonna fill it out on the application just like you usually do. We are going to be changing the application forms a little bit, so it'll list the different models that you're going to want to choose for your clients. So if you choose a Model A, it's going to be either a Drive Cruiser X4 or it's going to be a Breezy 4000. So based on our recycling program, it's whatever is available through us. So you might not get a choice for what type of model you're, or sorry, for the what type of chair you're going to get at the beginning, because we are still recycling some of these older chairs. Can a backrest be mounted on the A, B, or D? It says that you can remove the arm. Sorry, I'm looking at the Sentra HD here, which is your Model B. You can remove the upholstery. I don't know how easily that's going to be done, but it has been done. You can put a backrest, a different backrest on it. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording. I think people are. Where's my record option?